Welcome to Movie Friends. We're your hosts, Seth and Michelle, and today we're talking about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from 1964. Directed by Larry Romer, written by Robert May and Romeo Mueller, composed by Johnny Marks. Starring Burl Ives, Billy Mae Richards, Paul Soles, Larry D. Mann, and Stan Francis. And today, we're joined by a very special guest, the guy that made our theme song, chose this movie, and perhaps, most importantly, is married to Michelle.
Frosty the Snowman.
Our guest today is Anthony.
Did you say Frosty the
I
Snowman?
said Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi guys. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to be seen. Anthony is, you can't see him, but he looks a lot like one character from this movie.
Silver!
I was like, wait, which one?
I saw him licking his pickaxe while I was doing the intro.
Nothing.
Michelle, how's it going?
How are you, Seth?
Good. How was you guys' Christmas?
Great.
Or Christmaka or Hanukkah or whatever.
That's better. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
No,
I
that's
wasn't
great.
inclusive in my holiday greeting.
Yeah. Thank you.
Get it right,
Yeah.
Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
it's-
kidding. We're recording this before Christmas, but this is coming out after Christmas.
Oh no, I'm playing into it. I'm gonna talk about what I got.
Okay. Do you guys, you guys are married, been married for a while. Do you guys
Yeah.
get each other Christmas gifts? Christmas gifts? Like, what's the story?
We really haven't in the last several years. I mean, we do like a stocking kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
But we haven't done gifts.
It's been a really long time since we've gotten each other gifts because every year it gets to the end of the year and they're like, ooh, we're broke.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's just buy for our parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think it's odd because it's like, you guys recently did your love language breakdown, right?
Oh, God. Yeah.
0%
Finally,
gifts.
worked through that, Seth.
And
Opened the
I'm
wound again.
0% gifts. I have don't give me any gifts ever.
No, yeah, I don't need gifts. I like things that I can use. So it's like when they're asking me what I want for my birthday and stuff, I'm like, I want a nail gun,
Right.
and I do. I want a nail gun.
Okay, well, I'll put it on my
Yeah,
list.
his birthday is December 17th, which is really hard when your partner's birthday is a week before Christmas. So you're like, well, all right. But also I force him to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm an adult, I already have everything that I need, and I don't really have a lot of wants. So I'm also pretty into not owning stuff. So when it comes to gifts, I'm just like, give me a gift card. Movie gift card, great. I'm going to go to the movie theater. Movie gift card, boom. Done.
Yeah, our experiences are nice.
No.
Well, I like that.
If it's stuff that I can do inside in my house or in a movie theater.
Right.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Movie things.
Anyway, speaking of movie things, Anthony chose our movie today, and I watched it 3 times. And
3 times?
Yes, 2 3/4 times.
And you liked it better each time, I bet.
I did, actually. I will say that I came around on this movie from outright hating it to being like, okay, this is so weird and strange. And just really, really odd. Like you guys had pointed out, there's one moment where a decoration falls off a tree. And they just kind of look at it
Get back.
and then keep going. This movie is bonkers bananas. It's crazy. Like this was a drug-fueled acid trip with a flying
Yeah.
Lion King.
That's
Sure,
our cat.
you know?
Yeah. King Moonracer.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
our cat's part of our cat's name, Moish
Yeah.
Moonracer.
Moish Moon Racer. That's where it
Very
came from.
cool. Okay, all right. So my first question is, Anthony, why did you pick this movie?
At some point, I don't know, became more than nostalgia for me.
Uh-huh.
This was basically one of the only Christmas movies that we watched as a kid that I remember. We watched this and Frosty
Yeah.
and A Christmas Story, and that was it. So I just rewatch this one every year, And in the last few years, I started liking all the wackiness that has to do with it and how terrible Santa is. Like, I love how terrible all of these people are.
Yeah.
They're so, the adult reindeer, like, they're just like, not you, Rudolph.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, let's just remember, we're not going to include Rudolph, just in case you were thinking about doing that. You know? It's just, I get a little bit of joy just on how terrible it is. Like, it's just such terrible lessons to be teaching children. Like,
Yeah.
make sure you ostracize them unless you can use them.
Yes. Okay. I'm very glad that you're on that wavelength, because all of the notes that I wrote down were just like, Santa's like a fascist in this movie. Like, this is such like an anti-work capitalism person at the top movie, like, if I've ever seen one. Like, at one point, Rudolph is born and Santa appears in the doorway like Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians, right? Like, let me check out these dogs. And he's like, yeah, I figured if he's gonna work for me one day, I better check him out. And I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? Later on, when Rudolph comes back, Rudolph has grown up. Santa appears in the doorway, just like a creepy ghost. And he's like, they've been missing for months. And guess what? I'm not going to be able to do my job. And Rudolph is like, I'm sorry, sir. I'll go find them.
Also, just like Santa's just always bothered. Like, he hates the elves singing.
Yes.
Mama, don't bother me.
Oh.
Like, he's just not happy with his life.
Well, you know why?
Why?
Because he's skinny Santa.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
Because he's
yeah.
not chubby and jolly.
Yes, Santa is supposed to be like overweight and happy. And in this movie, for some crazy reason, they have him. He's got the head of Fat Santa. And then the body is just like a popsicle stick.
Yeah, he just has to get fat for the season, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know why the elves just can't sing for Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, Mrs. Claus, she's the only one that cares.
I know. She enjoys it.
I don't know why the elves have to sing, but
Well, true.
Well, for Santa, you know. But I feel like Santa hates, hates his life 364 days of the year.
Yes. Yes. He does.
yeah,
in this
yeah.
movie.
I saw a comment that was like, Santa is just like at the drop of a hat, like, oh, Christmas is canceled. No, can't,
Oh, yeah.
can't do it. Nope. Not like, oh, let's postpone it, or like, let's try. It's just like, we're not doing it this year. A little bad
Yeah.
weather.
He's been looking for that out for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, like, it doesn't bother him at all. Anyway, but yeah. Michelle, what about you? Did you watch this growing up?
I didn't watch this growing up, but I watched the same production company make Here Comes Peter Cottontail.
Oh.
And that was I think that's what it's called, but it's
Okay.
essentially about the bunny who becomes the Easter bunny, and he travels to all the holiday lands. And so he goes to Christmas land, and he goes to St. Patrick's land, and he makes eggs for each of the. It's great, but it's in the same vein of this style of animation.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when I met Aunt, and Aunt was like, "This is my favorite Christmas movie," we started watching it every year, and then we love it together because we laugh at the same exact moments and
Yeah.
points. And like you said, like the ornaments falling off the tree, like what
It's
is
my
that?
favorite part.
It's my favorite part too, because
so
it's
silly.
like it's animation. They didn't need to keep that in. It's
Right.
just so strange
Yeah.
to stop and take a look and then continue back.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
they're like, what?
Yeah.
It's
I
an
wonder if it
odd...
was like the claymation people being like really proud of like, look what we did.
So this is animated in Japan, and so a
Yeah.
lot of people will say like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is anime, like early 60s. That could be where a lot of the strange quirkiness comes from, because
Interesting.
it feels a lot more creative than, like in America we have like the Looney Tunes, which is like zany weird, where this is more like subtly strange and just like a little off kilter. This movie feels really strange and subversive. It's not homey and comforting to me.
To me, it is.
Yeah, to me it is because it reminds me of Aunt. And so that's my
Yeah.
home.
Right, but I mean, like, the content of it isn't like, oh, everything's nice and like very
Like, even
little.
the castles, like Santa's house is like this drab,
It's so
like
depressing.
red. It's like this Ugh, it's like a
Yeah.
blood red.
Yeah, and at the beginning, Sam, the snowman, I guess is Burl Ives. He's like, yeah, Santa lives at the mansion just on the left. He's like, actually, it's the only mansion. And he calls Santa and Mrs. Claus the top citizens. And I'm like, ooh, what is this? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I think I pinpointed why I've really disliked this movie over the years. And it's because all of the voice acting to me is like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Everyone's voice is crazy.
Well, on that note, in the Island of Misfit Toys, there's Charlie in the box.
Yeah.
And
Charlie.
Aunt does the voice and it drives me crazy. I hate this voice with
She
a
hates it.
Okay, don't just lie and tell people your name is Jack. What are you? You're on
Maybe
like
there's a toy code where they can't
toy
lie.
hell because you were named wrong.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's his identity. How can he, I mean.
Did you do a deep dive into the doll?
I did not.
Okay. So you look at that rag doll for Sue. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of the song.
Yeah,
And you're like, and I even said it last night. I'm like, what's wrong with her?
yeah.
And then upon reading, it's like, oh, she just has like psychological issues.
Oh my.
Like she was left behind and she's super depressed. And
Oh
that's
my
her problem.
God. So basically, like the Island of Misfit Toys is kind of like what insane asylums used to be. Like it was just they would just lump everyone in together, even though they didn't belong there. It was like, what's this guy's problem? It's like, oh, he gets sad in wintertime.
Right, right.
So he's insane. Now I will say the train the train with the square wheels in the back, that dude belongs there.
Yeah, on his caboose.
There's the bird that swims.
Yes, the bird. Yeah, the toy boat that doesn't
What about-
float.
What about the toy gun that only shoots jelly?
The gun is real crazy because it looks just straight up like a gun, and when it shoots you, you turn red.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's jelly, so.
I know it's jelly,
Lord.
but it's still like, oh, okay, all right.
I mean, I think the elephant with spots is fine.
What's
I
wrong
don't
with
think-
that? What's wrong with that elephant?
Nothing's wrong with that elephant. That's an adorable elephant.
Okay, I don't know if you guys read about how they added the tag where they come and get the toys
Yeah.
because it originally just ended.
Which is great because that just tracks with the whole other part of the movie.
I
Right.
agree. If you take that part out, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, let's just forget about him again.
So, okay, how do you guys feel about Hermie, the dentist elf?
Love Hermie.
I love Hermie, and I love that Hermie's just like, I'm just not happy in my work, I guess. It's like, same kid, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Hermie is the only one with a face.
Yes. And
Like-
not pointed ears.
Yeah, he has eyeballs, and everyone else just has like black dots.
Yeah.
And it's real creepy.
I
Well,
just
you.
thought he was just supposed to be like a human, and he wasn't really supposed to be there.
Oh, that's
interesting.
interesting. I just took it as, he's kind of the main character. We're going to put more detail on him.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be true. They're like, hey, we don't have money to put faces on all these elves.
He also has like emo boy hair
Yeah,
coming out of a beanie. He's got that swoosh.
Is this
definitely.
your snowbank?
That is so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you could make this movie now because if you tried to be like edgy and weird, I just feel like it wouldn't be this. Like I watch unfortunately a lot of kids movies because I have kids, and you'll have like sassy characters or like people who are making references to like pop culture things. It's like, oh, that's a little naughty, but none of it is like weird like this. Like that snowbank thing. Watching this 3 times, I was just like, that's how they wrote for them to meet.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Like, and then Rudolph sits down and Hermie pops out from underneath of him. And
Have
that's-
you seen the other animated Rudolph movie? Because there's the cartoon animated one that came out in the 60s
No.
or early 70s. And I was like, oh,
Was
I
the
wonder how that is.
advertising in the movie, or was it the special, or was it just surrounding the special?
surrounding, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be really funny though if Santa was like, "Come on, guys, we got to finish this GE dishwasher.
Yeah. I
Lots
really-
of people are waiting for their quality appliances.
Yeah.
Who's making the light bulbs?
But that's kind of another like odd layer to the story is like a corporation made this? Like you would think it'd be like sterile and boring and, wholesome, and it's not. Like I actually wrote down in my notes to ask you guys, like, is this a horror movie?
No.
I mean, not at the time. I don't know.
There's a lot of like really scary moments. Like when Rudolph walks in the cave and the thing is like about to eat his girlfriend.
Oh, Bumble.
Dude.
Yeah.
I just think that it came from like a time when people were just tougher mentally.
It's possible, yeah.
Like you're talking about 38 is when it came out.
No, 64.
30.
No,
Well,
not-
39 was when the original story came out, and then the movie was
Right.
64.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did the story have all these things like the
I don't know.
the Bumble and
I don't know,
like
but I'm like really fascinated now to try to find it. It's got to be
Yeah.
available online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the song only has the reindeer games, which we don't really see a lot of the reindeer games.
That's because Rudolph wasn't allowed in them. I want to see the sequel or the side movie where it's like all the other reindeer doing their thing, the normal players.
Right.
They're just like boring growing up. They're like, let's fight.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so are the reindeer games just like wrestling? Is this how you train to fly Santa? Like, this is like
think
boot
so.
camp. This is like a
Yeah.
military state forcing their children to go through this like militarized program so that they can be utilized by their dictator. Yeah. Anyway,
True.
don't get me started.
All right. Well, that's why you have this podcast. Get started.
So do you guys watch the other movies like this? There's one with the Heat Miser, right?
Yeah.
Never seen that one.
Santa
Yeah.
Claus is coming to town or something?
I've seen that. And like I said, the Peter Cottontail one, which I really want to watch.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah.
I have to find. And Sam, she's always been like, I hate these movies. I hate the animation. I'm like, what are you talking about? You loved Peter Cottontail or Here Comes Peter Rabbit. It's Peter Cotton. I'm screwing up the name. I'll have to get that. But
I watch this, Frosty sometimes, A Christmas Story, and Charlie Brown.
when you were a kid,
Or like even now.
I feel like we haven't watched Frosty in a long time.
I know it's like every few years I watch.
But
Well,
Charlie Brown has
Charlie
become
Brown,
like
Charlie-
staple.
That's another great one.
It's fantastic.
I also rewatched parts of Frosty.
How was it?
I was so checked out, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure people have heard it by now. I hate Christmas so much. I was done.
That's fair. Okay, I'm gonna drop that, and let's talk about a character that there's no way you can hate is Yukon Cornelius.
That was a real fun way of Michelle being like, all right, boring.
Yeah. I don't like your ideas. Let's
I
go
don't
to
like
mine.
it. We're not talking about how much you hate Christmas. Let's talk about Yukon Cornelius. There's no way you can hate this character.
I don't like him licking his pickaxe. That is real. Because it's not just like he's like, He goes like, like who licks something like that?
This guy.
He's
This guy's
so-
off the wall.
He's so funny, and what gets me about him are the dogs he chooses to
Oh,
pull
yeah.
the sled.
Yeah.
Because they're like a King Charles Cavalier, a miniature poodle, a basset hound. Like, these are not husky dogs, and clearly they don't want to be doing this role. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I noticed we don't see him whipping them. That's off screen.
I mean, I think I think he just kind of like hits it in the air.
Yeah.
You know?
Mush,
I mean, we
Mush.
can believe that.
mush.
Yeah.
And he's like this, and then the
Right.
dogs jump on the
I
sled.
think he's just
Right.
clueless. Like he's,
I mean, clearly he's searching for silver and gold at the North Pole.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, maybe he's a genius. Maybe there's tons of gold up at the North Pole. I don't know. Do you guys have a favorite song from this?
I don't. You know what? The songs don't really do it for me.
And yet there's so many of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not really here for the songs.
No,
Okay.
I'm not here for the songs either.
Okay.
I will say the most piercing one is when Clarice sings.
Yeah, that song
It's
sucks.
so high pitched.
That's-
She's so sweet. We love her for loving Rudolph, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't really like the music in this either, especially Silver and Gold, where we cut to Sam sings it for some reason instead of Yukon Cornelius. But I don't want to say I like it, but We're a Couple of Misfits
Yeah.
is insane.
Probably the best one, I think.
And I do like the line, they can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah. They can't fire me. I quit.
Is this a kid's movie? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys take this line? Because when I'm watching this, okay, I haven't seen this in probably a few years since I showed it to my oldest son, and even then, I doubt I was watching this. So I'm watching, and I'm like, okay. And then we see the lion, like, just flying through the air, and I'm just like, dude, look, who? Okay, sure.
Yes, we are
Yeah,
here for it.
of course.
We love King
Yeah,
Moonracer.
he's he runs the island of Misfit Toys, and he flies around every night.
Yeah.
Around the world.
Around
That's
the world.
his job as the king. Yeah.
And then he holds court.
He
Yeah.
holds court with nobody there.
Yeah. He's
They're just like,
waiting for
he's
people-
holding court.
Right.
He's waiting for people to show up.
We all hang out down here in the snow,
Uh-huh.
and he's up there by himself.
Yeah.
It's odd.
It's great. It's
Okay.
great.
Oh yeah, no, it is very odd. I agree with you, but it is great. Like I also agree with Michelle.
Right.
Agree with both of you.
I like that his kingdom has a nice little guest house.
Well, that's my
That's
next
cute.
question is, what is this bedroom they're putting them in?
Is it a bedroom or is it literally just you walk in bed and the three of them are in it?
I feel like this is a misfit dollhouse that they're living in.
That
Probably, yeah.
that could
They
be
didn't show
it.
the dollhouse speaking.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
Right.
Susie, the
Me.
misfit dollhouse.
Yeah.
climb inside.
Like, they don't fit. I don't know. It's...
That's what's great about
Well,
it.
I don't think it was ever really made for. I don't think anything up there was really made for a human man like Yukon, right?
That's
Yeah,
true. That's
true.
true. That's a good point.
And,
Wow.
And a reindeer is like a compared to toys. If you're
Yeah.
really trying to house toys.
Right.
How do you feel about Hermie ripping out this monster's teeth?
Well, before we get there, how do you like how he lures him out?
Yeah.
Oink,
Oink.
oink, oink.
But
Oink.
the best parts about these are like the lines that Yukon has, like
Yeah.
where he's just like, "I've never known a bumble to pass up pork
A
for
pork
deer
dinner.
meat." A pork, like.
Do you have a favorite line? Because I have one, and it's insane.
I mean, I love the fog as thick as peanut butter.
Yes,
He's like,
that's...
I think you mean pea soup. He's like, you eat what you like, and I'll eat what I like.
Yes, that's the line.
Yes, I love that. I love that too.
He's just wacky. He's like that. Why do you think he's in the North Pole? Like he obviously doesn't fit in either. He's probably also a misfit among prospectors.
But also, how excited is he when he discovers peppermint?
Yeah.
I've also been looking for this. Like, that'll do over.
Yeah.
But back
thought
to
you
your
were
original
looking for
question of how we feel about Hermie ripping out Bumble's teeth. I kind of feel bad because that's really, really mean.
Yeah.
But also, what's weird to me is that Bumble gets his teeth ripped out. He falls off the cliff, and then he's like humbled and trained.
Yeah, he's putting the star on the tree.
Yeah, just trying to be friends the whole time.
Now, if it's a thing where, Hermie?
Hermie. Mm-hmm.
If Hermie is just like, oh, I'm such like an intuitive dentist, what's driving this guy wild is like, he has this one tooth that needs to be pulled, right? And so I pulled that, and now he's like happy. But no, it's not that. He takes all of his teeth out, and when he walks back inside and you see his no teeth, his eyes do this like, thing. It's like, wow.
Defanged him, You're coming at it from a more current perspective where it's not nice and okay for the monster, but back then it was just like, yeah, rip the monster's teeth out. He's a jerk.
Well, they may have come up against a wall where they were like, how do we kill this monster in a children's movie?
You repurpose him into something you can use
Right.
to
Yeah.
put the tree topper on.
So Santa comes begging because he has no other options. And I love how he's like stumbling over his words. He's like, well, what I'm trying to say is, Rudolph, And yeah, and it's kind of the thing like when we were talking about Newsies, where it's like, all right, the day is saved, now back to work. You know, where it's like, all right, how about Rudolph save the day so he can, I don't know, not work. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's his purpose, though.
Yeah, they all really want to participate in Christmas. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from with the dictatorship, but what if it's what they really want?
And that's what Santa and Mama. Oh God, how do you guys feel about that?
Papa, Mama.
You know what? I talk to the outdoor cat like that, Mama. I didn't even realize this from Rudolph until like just this moment. But
Wow.
I was like, oh,
Really?
Mama. Yeah,
It's deep in your
Wow.
head.
I guess so.
I just like, there's a couple of lines in this movie of the way they speak about women.
That's man's work.
That's man's work. Like, they're saved from Bumble, and they're like, well, they decided it was best to get the women back to town.
Right.
You know, they want to go out and look for Rudolph.
Yep.
I mean, I'm happy that the mom
They
and
have shopping to get back to.
Clarice they go out on their own.
Well, at the beginning, Fireball, who we didn't even mention,
Fireball.
Fireball, who just is right away like, okay, you'll be my buddy. I was like, oh, okay, Fireball. You know, something happened, whatever. They cut to someone else, then they cut back to them. And Fireball's like, look, does. He's like, go talk to him, Rudolph. They like you. And I was like, what on earth? The other line I wanted to mention is, why weren't you at elf practice? Pretty great.
It's pretty great.
I always wonder when he lightens up his voice when he's talking to Santa, if that's him like brown nosing, or if that's him like that's what Santa hears. Like instead of having like the elves hear a gruff voice and Santa hears this like I don't want to do it.
Interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's really interesting, Aunt.
Yeah.
He's in his own
Wow.
little world. Santa getting up and leaving while they're singing is just, it's great.
Yeah, he's rolling his eyes visibly.
He's like,
Yes.
it needs
slouching.
work. I gotta go. Bye.
And then what does he say? The tenors were weak. the head elf, right?
Intersection was weak, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
silly.
Sure, why not?
So silly.
Yeah, but I mean, he's keeping him honest, right? He's like, at least he's not like blowing smoke, right? He's just like, you know, he could be like, that was very great. I never want to hear it again. Thank you.
I guess we just always assume that Santa's nice, but this Santa's the most realistic.
Can you get Christmas done by being a nice guy?
That's a good question.
Wow.
Yeah, eventually you do kind of have to be like, all right, come on, guys.
It's July, everyone. Get to work. Okay, it's been fun.
This might be the meanest Santa. Like, this Santa is way more mean than Ed Asner in Elf. And Ed Asner in Elf is like a very ornery Santa, you know?
Yeah.
Like, is he nice at all at any point?
Well, yeah, when Rudolph saves the day and then he goes to the island of misfit toys and he picks up all the toys and then drops them with umbrellas.
Is it
That
really
was
just that, like, Santa is only himself one night of the year?
Yeah, in this world, for sure.
Wow, that's so sad. It's like Santa's like a stand-up comedian who like only feels alive on the stage, and then the rest of the time he's just like a miserable drug addict.
Yeah,
I think
right.
that's Santa in this movie.
that is Santa in
That
this
is,
movie.
yeah.
Maybe that's why he's so skinny.
Maybe.
There you go. That's it.
So Mrs. Claus is like, eat. He's like, get off my back. So we don't have any messages from friends because we're recording this way out of order, but I do have some reviews if you guys would like to hear them.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. Do you have a request for a voice?
I would love you if you read it as
Charlie in the box.
yeah.
Oh, I can't do that.
Charlie.
Anthony can.
Anthony can. I hate it.
Anthony, you want to read it?
No.
Okay.
What about Yukon Cornelius?
King Moonracer. You just gotta.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like deep and echoey, like reverb. And then Rudolph is so nasally.
Well, Rudolph is voiced by a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still a nasally.
That's
pretty good.
Are you sure you don't mind my nose?
You sound like the gingerbread man from Shrek.
Yeah.
I'll do it as Santa.
Okay.
Okay. Oh. So this is a segment of the show where we hear reviews from people we don't know. It's called Half Star, 3-Star, 5-Star. These are reviews from Letterboxd.com. We start with a half-star review. We go all the way up to a 5-star review. And the half-star review says, "Great movie to show to your kids if you want to teach them that Santa, his wife, his reindeer, and all the elves are all terrible."
Is that it?
Yeah.
Wow. That was a great voice, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good
Thanks.
voice.
Great Santa.
Thanks.
Yep.
That's actually my real voice.
It's true.
I put on a fake voice every other episode.
And all other parts of your life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was an accurate half-star review, though.
Definitely.
Would you put Mrs. Claus in there? She's not bad.
Hey, man, she's complicit. Her
exactly.
silence speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
She's not silent, though. She's like, they're
trying to-
doing a good job. Papa, eat. Papa, eat.
Mange.
Just say that.
She basically is like a Nona.
Yeah.
Mr. Claus and Nona.
All right, the 3-star review is long, but hopefully we come around to a good part.
Yeah.
2021 marks the 57th consecutive year that Rudolph has aired on television, longer than any other Christmas special. And Rankin and Bass's breakout hit remains a holiday staple. The stop-motion animation isn't as fluid or detailed as, say, The Nightmare Before Christmas, but it's still incredibly charming. The character designs are all whimsical and distinct. Burl Ives' warm, folksy performance as Sam the Snowman is the heart of the special, as are its songs composed by Johnny Marks, who wrote the original tune. If you're familiar with A Holly Jolly Christmas or Silver and Gold, they came from here. One could spend hours debating the content of the special and how horribly Rudolph was treated, but I keep up my annual watch primarily because this was a favorite of my late grandmother, and when Ives begins singing the title tune, I almost feel as though she's sitting next to me again.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I think that's why I hate Christmas.
Because you hate grandmas?
No, because whenever everybody talks about Christmas, they're always like, oh, it reminds me of being a kid.
That's true, it does. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that was the best time for Christmas, so.
I hated being a kid, though.
Well, Christmas is but a short time of that.
All right, we're changing the subject. Seth, go to the 5 stars.
Michelle, you can't see listeners, but Michelle just put her hand up to Anthony
She's like,
as if
"Do
to say,
not
this is not
enjoy this."
happening right now.
Enough.
Enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Michelle's trying to keep the Christmas spirit alive.
That's right.
5-star review says, I had forgotten just how funny this was. It really is so remarkable. One of the most daring Christmas specials in terms of its message and plot, and on top of that, its heart and charm are actually palpable.
Good review.
5 stars.
I wouldn't say it was remarkable.
It's a little too glowing of a review. The half-star review
Take him down.
the half-star review is basically why I love this movie so much. that was it. The others were, kind.
Yes.
And I don't know, the 5-star. I don't know. I don't know what movie they're watching. Not this one.
Well, they said it was funny.
Yeah, it is funny
But it's funny because it's not trying to be funny.
in some of the spots. I think they were trying to be funny in some spots, but
You do?
yeah, you kind of it's a total joke. It's so funny.
You think the ornaments falling was on purpose?
Yes.
It's gotta
On
be.
Absolutely, it was on purpose.
Well, I meant do you think other people find that funny? Or they don't even think about it?
I don't think the 5-star review person thought that was funny. I doubt they even clocked it.
Yeah.
But that's the best part about that, and the whole half-star review was the best part of it. That's why I watch this movie every year.
So Michelle came up with a wonderful rating system that the more episodes we do, I just think, this was good. I just wanted to say that.
Thanks, Seth.
It's the end of the year. I figured it's time to give one compliment.
I
Michelle.
appreciate it.
Merry Christmaka.
There you go, Seth.
Anyway, we rate the movie as a schmovie, a movie, or a film. Rate it 1 through 5 stars. Say if we would recommend it. Final thoughts. Anthony, do you want to go first or last?
I'll go last.
Okay. Michelle, do you want to go first or second?
Second.
All right, I'll go first. This is a film. I am rating this 2 stars. I do not like this movie. I did come around from hating it. I would never rate this lower than 2 stars because it is stop animation, and it, in 2021, 57 consecutive years. That means that this is 60 years, 59, something like that. I think that you have to give respect where respect is due. This movie is very funny, and I love, as a hater of Christmas, that we get an evil Santa Claus. I think if you haven't seen this yet, I don't really recommend watching it unless you have kids or if you're on drugs.
Yeah. I also agree it's a film.
Ooh.
But I'm going to rate it. Oh, and I've been thinking about this.
You got to go with your gut.
I was like, I knew it was a film.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, this is a film. It's like a solid 3. Solid 3 stars.
Wow.
But like big gold stars.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Like
Okay.
Mario style.
All right.
I would also recommend this if you have kids and if you have a similar sense of humor to me. But if you're not into stop animation, then I'd say you could probably skip this.
Okay.
Ant?
Well, what makes you guys think this is a film? I guess is
Every time we talk about somebody, they always say, "Well, what is this?" And our answer is always, "We don't know."
I know
It's
I-
your
I
gut.
understand- I
It's your
understand
gut.
the je ne sais quoi, but what about this specific one makes you say film?
Just the way it was made. It's, for me anyway, that's why I chose it. Like, to me, it's so different than all the others. And it's just, there's the art of it.
It's hard.
There's an artistry to it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, I don't think that there's a through line, which I think is just our way of saying, don't make us explain because there's not a lot behind the decision.
And there's also, like, there can be a very fine line between film and schmovie.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because this
Yeah.
almost wraps around from the
Yes, it
film
does.
side to the movie side.
Yes, it does. Yes.
because that's where I was sort of going was a schmovie, but then I was like, I don't know, is it really a schmovie? But I'm gonna go with schmovie,
Okay.
and I'm gonna vote that it's 3.875 stars.
Okay.
Are you recommending it?
So yeah, no, I wouldn't like you said, if you hadn't seen it, I wouldn't recommend it. Because like I feel like you need a little bit of nostalgia vibe to really you got to be going for it. The music doesn't really do it for me anyway. It's all about the humor and the terribleness of Santa, and really just the whole, like all of the culture surrounding Christmas Town. It's just like a very terrible culture, to be born into.
Yeah.
We
So-
do, though. We see 2 people who are in an igloo, and they get, when
Sure.
the storm comes and their igloo goes blown away. So there are other residents that
They
aren't
also,
Santa
like,
and
you
elves.
see them very, very briefly, and their eyes look like they are aliens. Like they look all black, kind of.
I didn't catch that.
You never seen that? Yeah.
Gotta
so
go back and check it out.
Yeah, I always want to go back. But they're supposed to be, I guess, Inuits, I
Right.
suppose. So, but they look like aliens to me anyway.
I think it's just not good like, they didn't take the time.
Obviously, that's really what's going on there. But it could be aliens. You don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe aliens gave Santa his power.
Maybe.
Well-
Where's that movie? Does that exist?
That's Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa
Is that
just starts out as a normal redheaded guy.
Redheaded?
He's redheaded in that movie. Yeah.
And aliens give him powers?
No.
I was like, I don't
It's like, I
remember
missed
this.
one.
I know that there's Heat Miser in that one, and
Uh-huh.
and Cold Miser.
Uh-huh.
We'll do it next year.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, well, thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Seth.
Hey, if you want us to thank you, you can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Do you think that this movie is great? Is it a movie that's a 5-star movie and we all got it wrong? Let us know. You can also support the show. Hey, it's Christmas time. Come on. What are you doing with that money? Give it to us. That's the best I got. Spread a little holiday cheer, You get access to 4 additional shows. You get voting privileges on episodes and themes. You get access to our patron Discord. And you get our undying love and Thanks. Is this the
it.
last episode to go out for the whole year?
I have no idea. When are you releasing it?
I'm pretty sure this is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going out with a bang.
Yeah.
Rudolph. Here we go. You didn't see this coming starting
Yeah.
in the beginning of the year. What are
Well-
we going to end with? You probably thought to yourself.
It was not this.
Something good, probably. What a journey.
Wow.
What was the first one again?
Godfather.
Godfather.
Godfather to Rudolph.
Yep. From Godfather to Rudolph, the descent of movie friends.
Or Essent. You don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe. Who
Or Full
knows?
Circle. You know.
Have more people seen The Godfather or have more people seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? That's
Ooh.
There's a poll.
That's a
some-
poll.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to hear that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Okay, well, bye.
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 Anyway, thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Michelle. Thank you for listening. Of course, we're not going anywhere. We'll be back in less than a week. A few days. Come on, man. But
Right after you give them your money.
from all of us at Movie Friends, have a happy new year. And, that's it.
Be healthy.
Or not.
Be healthy. Be kind.
Yeah,
be kind always. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get in shape. Do it. Just do the dang thing.
Vote in your local elections
Vote in local. Yeah.
as much
That's
as
a
possible.
good one. Drink water.
Cook at home.
New Year's resolution: sign up for Movie Friends Patreon.
That's a great resolution.
Reduce your plastic use.
Come to our
Always.
live show.
Come to our
January
live show.
13th.
2 weeks
Yep.
ish.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun. Until next year. Wow. Thanks for listening and have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Music by Anthony Vicora. If you like the show, please subscribe and give us a rating. It really helps us find new friends. Thanks.